Welcome. Welcome, everyone. It's wonderful to be back with you. Thank you for joining us for this very, very special experience. We are here as part of our weekly gathering that we call Remembering Who We Are, in order to recognize that we are not our mind, we are not our body, and we are not the ego of who we think we should be. We're something else. The real self is the soul. And to remember that is the most important thing that we can do to identify with who we actually are. So we have in that regular programming a very, very special opportunity to have our guest Sacinandana Swami with us for the series, The Spiritual Experiences of a Lifelong Monk. And this was really, the inspiration was just seeing how amazing the life of Sacinandana Swami is, how many extraordinary, even otherworldly experiences he has had, and just how inspiring and provocative that is to hear about. And personally, to be able to document these experiences is extremely meaningful. And so I'm thrilled that we get to record these. The format is, typically we were hearing a story from Sacinandana Swami about a different spiritual experience he's had. But this time, this is the 5th of 5 sessions, this time is exclusively dedicated to questions and answers. So we'll get the intimate opportunity for a longer duration of time to ask questions and hear the responses based on the content that he has been sharing with us. And so you'll send your questions to Michael. So Michael Sloyer, direct message to him. And then we'll ask you, as time permits, to ask your own question. Sacinandana Swami will first set the tone, and he'll also lead us into a meditation, which is a very, very powerful thing, to be guided by him into a meditation. And then we'll open it up for questions. We will officially close at the top of the hour, that's 1 p.m. Eastern time. But Sacinandana Swami will kindly remain with us for more questions, more intimate time together for another half an hour. So please, please stay with us as far as possible. And the culture that we're co-creating together, which is vital for the best experience, is that we want 3 things in place. Our full-hearted participation. Please give your undivided attention and show up with your hearts ready to receive what is to come today.
Amen.
Respect, to really create a safe and sacred space so that we are all on the same page together, seeing each other as much as souls as possible, and respectful of the teachings that we're going to receive from Sacinandana Swami. The more humble and respectful and receptive we are, the more we'll take away. And that leads to the final piece, which is determination. Setting the intention now that I want to action on what I hear. I want to contemplate and stay with and apply in my life what we are going to receive from Sacinandana Swami. So your full-hearted participation, your respect, and your determination is wanted. Is everyone on board? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Wonderful. So Sacinandana Swami has been a monk for more than 50 years. He's traveled around the world sharing his experiences, his teachings. He's led kirtans of musical meditation and done all kinds of guided meditations for the benefit of humanity at large, and has written many books as well that are mines of precious realizations. We are so fortunate to have Sacinandana Swami with us. He is personally my guru, and he is a guide to all of us at Upbuild. Without further ado, we invite Sacinandana Swami. And thank you all for being with us from around the world. Over to you, Sacinandana Swami.
Oh,
This is our last session together in this season, Spiritual Experiences of a Lifelong Monk. I just came back the day before yesterday, from a beautiful, eventful weekend in Amsterdam. We had rented an amazing space, a church, and filled it with kirtan lovers of the town, and we sang from 9 to 9. And afterwards, the next day, that was on Saturday, on Sunday, I went to a meditation center in one of these large parks they have in Amsterdam, and again with a full house, guided people in mantra meditation, more particular in 6 steps one can undertake. So I'm very happy now to be with you again after 4 days or 5 days we were all together in Amsterdam, being with the Dutch people, and bringing this idea, this spiritual experience to a close. Allow me please to make a short, brief tune-in session. Then I would like to go to questions and answers. Actually, no. Then I would like to guide you in a meditation, and afterwards, after the meditation, I go into answering any questions that might be there. First of all, I must say that spiritual experiences can be made by everyone. I remember when I was with my own spiritual master, people were coming to him and asking questions how they could also make spiritual experiences. And he was telling them very simply, you have to look again into this world, and then you will find that there is a subtle essence behind everything that you see, that is divine. And people would, for instance, ask him, can you show me God? And he said, have you drunken water up till now? And they said, yes. And then he answered to them back, Rasoham apsukontiyas. I am the taste of water. So you can recognize the spiritual essence when you just look again. I remember he was so much insistent that everything is spiritual, that there is a spiritual essence, that he once addressed a group of perhaps 20 people who were drunkards. He said, you can also become a great yogi. You simply meditate that the taste of the wine to which you are so attached, that is Krishna. The essence of everything, that is the Lord. And to see the essence, we might have to come from the surface level to a deeper reflections. I will give you here 14 very quick meditations from the Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna says how he is all-pervading and can be seen as the subtle essence moving everything. I'm the taste of water. I'm the light of the sun and the moon. I'm the syllable Om in the Vedic mantras. I'm the sound in ether and the ability in all people. I'm the natural fragrance of the earth. I'm the heat and the fire, the life of all that lives. I'm the austerity of all ascetics. I'm the original seed of all existences, living beings. Know that. I'm the intelligence of the intelligence. I am the prowess of all powerful people. I am the strength of the strong, which is free from selfish desire and attachment. I'm sex life, which is not contrary to Dharma or religious principles. Know, O Arjuna, that I am present everywhere and the essence of all things. Looking through the eyes of knowledge helps you to see that essence. When I look like this, I'm not able really to see the names, nor can I see the faces in the little windows that are there in the Zoom conference. But if I take my glasses like this, I will say, oh, David Charles Wilson, welcome. Francis Shaw, welcome. Kalosha, welcome. Vipin Goyal, welcome. The moment I take the glasses off, I will not be able to see all this any longer. So looking through the eyes of spiritual knowledge is one way to recognize the essence, and once you contact this essence, you will feel a profound shift of perspective which will influence your entire life. This changing the set of eyes, so to say, or deepening the perception is greatly enhanced through meditation. And I thought to guide you all in a little meditation. Now, let me ask our Hari, our host, Hari Prasad, do you think I should do the meditation now, before we take the questions? I see you nodding. Good, then we will do so. I also feel this might be good. Let me just make a little sound check. Do you hear in the back the soft sound? Is it loud enough? Should it be louder?
Perfect.
Good. We often are so busy in doing things, in thinking things, in acquiring things, that we have no time to be, to simply stay in our awareness. We are often so outwardly facing that we lose contact with ourselves. So my meditation will change the human doing, the human thinking and the human having, and make it into a human being again. That's the idea of this meditation. We will, in other words, step back from what we do, from what we think, and the positions and things which we have, and simply fall into the state of being. Let us start, please. Can you please find a peaceful sitting position, upright sitting position, perhaps? Sometimes it's good to, if you sit on a chair, which I believe most of you are doing, to just move ourselves a little bit further back on the chair so that our lower back touches the backrest. Then it's easier to sit straight, and please take an upright sitting position. It certainly does help. Let me just adjust here my various layers of cloth. We are in cold Germany still. It helps that the shoulders go a little bit down. We open the shoulders a little bit like this, because we want to expand the volume of the chest for better breathing. Look around in the room without noticing anything in particular. And then look straight to where you can see me and hear me. And do a quick centering exercise. Become aware of your feet. If it's difficult for you, just move your toes a little bit, and then you will feel, there are my feet. And relax. Bring your awareness to your calves and your knees, and then further up to your thighs, and relax. Throughout the relaxation, maintain a straight, upright bodily posture. Go to your sitting bones, or where you sit, your lower back and upper back. Relax. Your belly and chest. Relax. Your shoulders and both of your upper and lower arms. Relax. Let me suggest that you relax your shoulders a little bit more. You can just imagine that they are moving slowly and gently in the direction of the floor. You just let your shoulders hang a little bit. Perhaps like you hang a shirt on a hanger. Yes, good. I can see it goes a little bit better. Go to the back of your neck, then up to the back of your head, your forehead, and relax. your eyeballs in the cavities of the eyes. Relax. Your jaw. Relax. The tongue inside your mouth. And everything inside the mouth. Relax. And just appreciate how you are now fully relaxed. From top to bottom, and from bottom up to the top. Relaxed, yet incredibly present and aware. For a moment, become aware of the sounds or of the silence around you. Since you're all on mute, I cannot hear any sounds, which is not important. Don't need to hear it, but you should see, are there maybe birds chirping outside? If you live in an apartment house, are there muted sounds coming perhaps from other apartments where people might be talking or dancing or doing anything? Tell yourself, I can be aware, but I don't need to bind my consciousness on this. I don't need to be with the sound. Now bring your attention away from any sounds to your breathing. Breathe in and out in your natural rhythm. If you want to breathe in more, you can bring your attention to the upper part of your lungs and just fill your lungs with fresh air. As you breathe in and out, try to lengthen your in-breath and to also lengthening your out-breath. Not in an unnatural way, just a little bit more perhaps, a little bit longer than you are accustomed to breathe in and out. When you breathe in, tell yourself, yes, I know, now I'm breathing in. And whenever your natural exhalation is there, breathe out and know that you are breathing out. Now bring your attention to the area of your heart. When you breathe in, imagine that the light in your heart expands a little. And as you breathe out, imagine this light goes and fills your entire body. You can almost meditate that there is a small little light in the heart which increases when you breathe in and spreads throughout your body when you breathe out. Let's do this for a little time. Focus on almost a point of light in the heart, some light or candle light or any type of light that increases as you breathe in and then spreads to every cell in your body as you breathe out. Thank you. Now we will stop all effort. No effort goes to the breathing. No visualization is there. You simply stay in this peaceful, calm state in which our mind has settled now. We are practicing to simply be. No thinking, no having, no need to do anything. Just be. Relish the state of being. Rest simply in awareness. There should be thoughts, let them come and go also. No need to attach your attention or bind your attention to any of them. If you want, you can end your meditation by wishing well to people whom you know, also to people whom you don't know. Wish them that their mind comes and finds this inner peace, and good wishes for everyone and everything. We will now end the meditation by chanting a little mantra. It's a monosyllable mantra, the mantra Ram. I will repeat and I will say one time alone. Then when I have ended the chant, we will chant it together 3 times. A deep inhale, please. And chant. Deep inhale. And last, we can now slowly return to room awareness. You might like to rub your hands, palms together. Bring the hands to the eyes, like in palming, and then take them away from the eyes. And look into the palms as if you're seeing them for the first time. Perhaps you want to turn your head a little bit, left and right. Move your hands or anything to come back to room awareness. Thank you very much. I hope it was useful for you. And yes, welcome back in New York or in England or in Massachusetts or Chicago, Japan, wherever you are. I've done this many times, and for me, this works very beautifully. When I first started to meditate, I had to admit, I thought my mind will become more peaceful, but no, it runs back and forth all over the place, almost like being in a roller coaster. I went to my first meditation teacher and says, this doesn't work for me. And reported to him that my mind had become more restless. And to my surprise, he said, good. I thought if I would tell him, he would be defensive or something. But he said, good, you have caught your mind doing your own thing. you wanted to meditate, or sat down to meditate, and your mind said no, and went everywhere. So you have seen that there are two, you and your mind. You are not your mind. And that's the beginning of spiritual insight, to be able to understand I am different. It's the beginning of spiritual experiences, and I have already vowed the next time I come to New York, which is hopefully next year, then I want to teach the Upbuild community in person how to go into this deeper place where the human thinking and human doing can become the human being again. And that is such a wonderful gift. Fine, I will end here. Oops, time has flown by. This was not my intention, but let us therefore quickly come to see if there are any questions from your side, and I will try my level best to answer in a hopefully relevant way.
Thank you so much, Sacinandana Swami. Beautiful. Francis, please ask your question.
Hello, good afternoon, Swami and fellow seekers of light. How are you? Yes.
I'm well, thank you, Francis.
That's good, that's good. You just actually really entered and answered some of my question. My question was about everyday spiritual connection. The fact that we have spiritual connections, or it's a possibility of that every single day, and how not to miss it. And what I was thinking about, a lot of people, they want the big event, but really we can connect to our source every single day. And I was just thinking, because I love baseball, it came up to me. It's like you go to a baseball game, you're more likely to see singles, doubles, walks. The triples, the triple play, the home run is less likely, but you're still at a baseball game and there's still excitement and enjoyment in that. And so I guess talking about enjoying the everyday spiritual connections, and two, how suffering really can be a source of connecting to spiritual life. Thank you.
Yes, Francis, I thank you very much for your good observation. You're right. The spiritual connection is possible every day. You might have to put on the spectacles, the different set of eyes or perception. And what you said about suffering, that was addressed or is addressed very much in the Bhagavad Gita. I think many of you don't know, but there are 18 chapters in the Bhagavad Gita which are all called yogas, or means of connection. And the very first chapter, that is the beginning of the entire wisdom teaching of the Bhagavad Gita, is called Arjuna Vishada Yoga, or the despair of Arjuna, which brought him away from the illusory concepts of this world into a direct connection with the exalted teacher of the Gita, Krishna. So if you want the day, you have to accept the night in this world. So both are serving each other and bringing about their existence. The night is not bad. It's a different aspect. which makes you appreciate the day perhaps much better than if there would be day from morning till evening to throughout everything else, you know, just around the clock. Yes. Have you ever seen in English we say in German we say EKG, ECG. They have it measures the heart, the frequency of the heartbeat, and there are pikes, and then there are these. I hear they are called in English troughs. You know, when it's down. So these ups and downs are an indication of life. If there is a flat line, that means death. Death. So, but we just may need to know how to navigate ourselves through these moments of misery and not allow them to overwhelm us, but to just teach us. But thank you, that was a wonderful comment by an enlightened Francis.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Sacinandana Swami. My question is about spiritually dry periods and why we go through them, even, you know, devotees who are focused and, you know, regularly meditating and regularly, you know, dedicating themselves to a spiritual practice. Why does sometimes everything feel a little bit dry? Is there a purpose behind that, and how can we see Krishna's hand in those dry moments?
This is a very interesting question asked by Tia. Is your good name? I can understand that you are practicing spiritual life and coming to these moments of dryness. First of all, for people who are in this, who are not yet enlightened, it is natural to experience these phases of dryness, and we don't need to be so shocked and so, let us say, moved and discouraged is the word, by these moments of dryness, although they really feel very dry, nothing makes sense, nothing inspires, nothing motivates. It's good to go through them just like you go through the summer and winter seasons. You just tolerate the heat and the cold and don't become overwhelmed when they happen. If there is a purpose behind them, yes, there is a purpose, and that is that you go for the essence. Usually spiritual life has 3 phases. The first is the phase of, it's called utsaham, enthusiasm, that is very much based on still external features. Then this enthusiasm is not serving you any longer, you feel dry, and then from these phases of dryness, you are looking for another level than superficial enthusiasm. Let me give you a traditional example. When a young child in India is admitted to the Sanskrit school, his parents or relatives will give him a book, a Sanskrit book. And he is carrying the Sanskrit book under the arm without really knowing how to read the book. He is very proud. Wow, I have joined the grown-up people now. I have also a Sanskrit book. But when he opens it, Sanskrit is a very difficult language. He cannot read it. When he comes to this state, after the initial artificial enthusiasm that is based on really externals, then he has the choice to close the book and throw it away, or to learn it and relish the subjects. So in the same way, in the beginning, you are excited. Wow, everything is so new. Everything is so overwhelmingly interesting, and you almost have the feeling, if this goes on, then in 2.5 weeks I'm self-realized. It's so overwhelming. Then you come really to the phase where you are a little dry. And Tia, there is one tip in this dry phase, one understanding, one perspective that will help you very quickly to go out of it and touch the essence. And that is the understanding that I want to just be close to God, to Krishna. I just want to be. I don't know how this will work, because right now I'm so far away, and I feel like a person who has been removed from the fire and is now in the night and in the cold, and so on. I just want to be close to God, and from that genuine, it has to become genuine feeling, you can collect a lot of spiritual treasures again. In the beginning, you may have been enthused by external things, the newness of it, the quick, totally different kind of experiences which are available for the beginner. Then, like the Brahmin boy or the Brahmin girl, who has to see, well, who comes to this second state, where he or she realizes, I can't read. It doesn't make sense to me. Nothing makes sense to me. A quick way to come out of it is to somehow or other want to become close. I always pray. I sit on my favorite bench, overlooking the vast green fields where we are. That I quickly this goes when I pray like this and so on. Thank you. I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ekta?
So my question is, I think you started the meditation and this session with this, like how to live like a living being than the thinking being. Like there is always mind chatter is going on, always about the past, future, anything. And as you say that, take a back seat and just observe. But then still it's a constant chatter. And if I am observing, yeah, it's something like someone has a hurt, or so there is forgiveness. I need to exercise that tool. So there are different things, but the main thing is that it's a constant 24-hour mind chatter. And so that it affects my present. I cannot fully present whatever I'm doing. So what's the way out of it?
Yeah. Mm. Uh, the way is you need to detach from this. You need to let go of it. Mm. And that is best possible if you have something better. uh, Renunciation or detachment from harmful ways of thinking is very easily possible when you have something better in your hand. Mm. I remember I went, uh, 2 years ago, I went with one person who was close to me through Vrindavan, and he had specs or spectacles on which he was very dependent. Um, so I remember a monkey came, just jumped from somewhere on his shoulders and took the spectacles away from him. And he really was dependent on them. It was his only set of spectacles, and he could not come home without spectacles. He was so dependent on them. So one local resident of Vrindavan had seen that, and he quickly went to a fruit shop. You know, they have these carts which they push forward, on which there are bananas and apples, and quickly purchased some bananas, and then he ran to the monkey who was sitting somewhere, you know, showing the glasses. He was so provocative, this monkey. And he just ran at him, threw some bananas, and the monkey had to decide, well, I can't take both. He had to decide bananas or glasses, and for him glasses are not so useful. He cannot put them on and have a better viewing experience, so he chose the bananas and dropped the glasses. And so my friend reimbursed the man who had gotten the bananas, and yes, and we were reflecting. We can only let go with our monkey mind of something when it has something better to hold on, to grasp on. And I think that's the whole art of spiritual life. You will see I'm so much suffering with my mind by repeating these useless thoughts of things that happened in the past, what someone told me, and he did not answer back on my WhatsApp message. Oh my God, is he angry at me, or you know, and so on. Just going about it, you have to give it something better to hold on. And for that, the mantra meditation is very good. Those who have learned to chant mantra by taking their attention away from the world and focusing it on the mantra, they have learned to consciously direct their minds away from what is harmful and let it, how do you say in English, catch the good thing. You need to practice it a little, and I would really recommend to you mantra meditation for this. It really trains our mind to hold on to positive and enlivening and spiritually uplifting thoughts. Thank you. Ekta is your good name. I have seen, yes, What a beautiful name. Ekta, I think, means to be focused on on one thing. And your name is very inspiring for your mantra meditation.
Unity.
Lalit, this will be the last question officially.
Hare Krishna. My question to you is, what does it mean to be a realized soul, and can realized souls still fall victim to their ego?
What does it mean to be a realized soul? And can realized souls still fall victim to their egos? On the first part, there are two types of knowledge. One is jnana, head knowledge, and the second is vijnana, or realized knowledge that is seen through the eyes of the heart. Once you have the vijnana level of consciousness, you are on the path to full realization. But from that partial realization, where you really see it and it is no longer theoretical knowledge, to full knowledge is still some way where the ego can come. We have an example of Bharata in the Bhagavatam. Bharata was a self-realized soul, perhaps not entirely on the highest level, and he was meditating somewhere near the road when the king came by riding on his palanquin. He had 4 palanquin bearers, and somehow one palanquin bearer could not continue his service. I think he was bitten by some scorpion on the road or something. He had to be replaced. And the king's men, not seeing any other person, asked Bharata, who was there on the side of the road meditating, if he could carry the king's palanquin. And in those times when the king needed a man for anything, there was every citizen was obliged to follow. So Bharata was hearty and healthy and stout in body. He could easily carry it. But then something, an obstacle showed up. There were some ants, not some ants, but a whole ant street crossed the path. And Bharata did not want to step on any ant. He was believing in absolute non-violence or not hurting any being. So he jumped to avoid the stepping on the ants. And this became rather discomfortable for the king, who was there in the palanquin. He was shaken back and forth, almost like when you are riding on an elephant. It is very, when you're not used to it, it really swings you back and forth. So he was shouting, "Oh, you are very good palanquin bearer. What are you doing there? You are fat and healthy, but it seems you are not able to carry very a simple palanquin." And he just insulted the saint, really bad. The Sanskrit doesn't have these heavy New York slang words, but you can put them in there. He really was insulting. Mm, mm, mm. And for a moment, it is described the ego of Bharat Maharaj was disturbed for a moment. But then his mind again became peaceful. And the example is given when you throw a stone into a small pond of water, the waves are very big. But when you throw it in the ocean, although there may be some small waves initially for a few seconds, the ocean quickly becomes calm and peaceful again. So yes, it may happen to someone whose consciousness is not yet so super vast, like the ocean, that for some more time the waves are there, but the vaster his consciousness is, the more his consciousness is aware of God and his many aspects and workings, the lesser the ego can react. Thank you for your wonderful question, your good name. Yes, Lalit Kapoorji, I remember you from last time.
Thank you so much.
Good. I'm so sorry, time was flying by. I was perhaps a little, before we got going, we wanted to meditate. This was our desire. Michael's suggestion was this, and because he is a new father, we could not disagree with him. Good. So, Hari Prasad, yes, here you are. Hari Prasad, you should please guide us.
So we thank you so much for being with us, Sacinandana Swami, for all those who need to leave. We're so grateful for your presence. And please do come back and be with us for remembering who we are on a weekly basis. Also, please follow Sacinandana Swami and go and take advantage of all of the wisdom that he's sharing. Thank you. Such a privilege. And please, if you can stay with us now, stay on. We will have more questions. We'll go to Scott.
Hello and thank you. My question is, in your lifelong quest to align yourself with your soul, what have you learned to love about this life?
I have very much learned to see and to love the Lord in his many manifestations. Especially, I like to see him in the relatively pure nature. You can find me wherever I am, searching for the less traveled paths that lead me into the heart of nature, because even minutes in her comforting presence, minutes or 10 minutes, 20 minutes, can have a profound and lasting effect on me, and I really feel his presence there in nature. I have a few very deep experiences in nature. And Scott, the second thing I have learned to love is deep relationships with just fellow human beings. I'm saying deep, and I just what I mean with this is when it starts to really flow, when the superficialities of normal conversation, hello, how are you, I'm fine, you know, this, some conversations have to stay on that level because there's not much more time and perhaps also not deep interest at the moment there. But when I can see this flowing, and it's not only with fellow spiritual beings. Like today I was at a doctor, nothing serious, just some vitamin B injection. And I talked with the doctor about, you know, when we were done, about ethical questions. The question was, is there something like an absolute guideline in life, something that is always correct, that is always good, that it always helps us? And as I was, we were talking, I noted that the doctor all of a sudden opened, so to say. It's almost like you hear the click, and he decided to share something deep of his own convictions. And as I listened to him, I was really enjoying that soul, I would say, soul to soul conversation. I mean this now in a colloquial way, you know, I enjoyed this. What I also learned to live is, learn to love is when I can see I am useful in the life of or I can contribute to the well-being of this world. That gives me the feeling I'm an instrument and I'm connected and so on. These are three things I would like to mention, and I've learned them. Thank you, Scott.
Niharika?
Namaste, Swamiji. This is Niharika. My question to you, and this is very personal. I love all that is life, everything that it brings with it, night, day, everything, and I want more of it. If I do not ever want to leave this earth, and I embrace everything that comes along with it. So my point is, does this make it harder to walk this life or walk the path of spirituality?
Niharika, I was thinking about this. I have just had to say goodbye to someone who's a good friend. He suddenly left his body, you know, in a matter of 2 days. He was brought to the hospital, or he came to the hospital, and he died within 2 days. And I was shocked. I mean, my mind still cannot totally fathom that I cannot call him, cannot speak with him, and cannot meet him when I go to India. So this morning, I'm still in the process. I believe in grieving as a healthy way to process the sudden loss, or the loss, why sudden, the loss of near and dear ones. This morning I was walking through the forest, and here in Germany we have the in this time, around this time, a very specific kind of flower blossoms. They are called in English the lily of the valley. Have you heard about these flowers? The lily of the valley, a beautiful poetic name. They have a fragrance that is enchanting. It's so enchanting. It happened to be the favorite fragrance of my mother, who left this world 2 years ago. She would always have that as a lady's perfume, the lily of the valley. Is that, I hope I'm saying it rightly. Have you heard about this? Has anyone heard? Lily of the valley? Yes, Scott has heard. There is a flower like this. Oh, Niharika, it is so beautiful, but it's only there for 2 weeks out of the year, just like the blossom of a cherry tree. They are so beautiful, these blossoms. They, I don't even remember if they smell particularly strong. Yes, they also smell, but they have a very subtle fragrance. Not the lily of the valley. Whoa, you come in and you feel like, whew, this is really a smell. But it's only there for 2 weeks. And just now it's already going down. It's only one fourth of what it was 3 days ago, the smell. And I felt a little bit sad because the smell reminded me of my mother's perfume, which she used, and so on. And I began to see so many things are temporary in this world. In fact, change is the only constant in this world. Now, if you can embrace that, if you can navigate that, if you can understand, well, this is how the material energy will go, then I think it is good. But I think also, Niharika, we like constant things. We like constant relationships. We like that our friendships go on. We like that our near and dear ones go on. We also don't want extinction, but we want to continue with our life because we are eternal. And I think we need to look into this and find a realm or where these natural desires of us can be fulfilled. And if we are too attached to the temporary world, where things come and go constantly, like the lily of the valley, please Google it. And if Google can provide you with a smell, it can't do that as of yet. Soon, I think it will be able. Then you can see they're really let the fact that things are temporary, coming and going, inspire us to look for the eternal, because we by our constitution like the things that stay, that are continuous, that shows that we are meant for another world, the world where these eternal things exist. The fact that a baby craves for milk means there must be milk somewhere, otherwise it wouldn't have this desire. The fact that let us say a little duck craves for water means there must be water somewhere. So the fact that we dislike separation from what is dear, and we want a constant experience, points to the fact that we are meant to find that eternal enjoyment. So nothing wrong to like the world, but the world is a bridge on which we cannot build any houses because everything breaks here. The world shows towards an eternal world. It has a sign. Niharika, look around the corner. There is the eternal values which you are looking for. They are somewhere else. Thank you. So,
Just didn't want to assume. Thank you so much for everything, really. On the idea of head knowledge and heart knowledge, or realization of the head knowledge, there is a time, unfortunately, that it's taking, certainly me, for some of what is clear in my mind to really change in the way I show up and behave. And I feel remorse, but I also feel guilt that is very sort of egoic. And sometimes I feel that the practices that I'm doing are fake. I'm faking them because these things are not changing. So in this time in between, when what is clear to me here is not yet reflecting in the way I'm showing up, what is the mature way to process that and not feel that the practices I'm being inauthentic in those practices, and continue them so that the knowledge will go there ultimately.
there is a very interesting report about head knowledge turning into heart knowledge. A very interesting discussion. There is a person who was previously a minister in the government of the foreign invaders. His name is Sanatan. He was a minister in the government of the Nawab Hussain Shah. And he meets Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who's known as an avatar, and hears from him, I think for 2 weeks, the amazing knowledge of bhakti. He just takes it all in, and at the end of it, he says, this is like an ocean now, and I don't know where to begin. It's so voluminous. I can't practice it. But therefore I have a desire. I have a request to you. Please make whatever you have told and whatever I have understood, make it manifest. Prakat is the word, in my heart. Let it appear in my heart. Let it shine forth in my heart. Then only will I be able to act upon it. So when we have spiritual practices and we feel there is not any deep result, or we go through a prolonged period of dryness and aridity, then I think it's time to go to the practice called Vandana. Vandana is what we call in the West prayers, where we really take something like an inventory, first of all. This is the situation, we face it, perhaps we even name it, to be very clear about what we are dealing with, and to bring that situation and now ask for guidance on it, and to solve it. And that guidance comes. In the Bhagavad Gita, we hear that in the Bhagavad Gita there is an essence which is presented in 4 shlokas, and one of these 4 shlokas says that from within the heart, I, who reside in everyone's heart, give the knowledge by which people come to me. So you need, in addition to spiritual practices, you do need to have the spirit in the practices, the heart in the practices. And for that you need to arrive in your own heart first. And you will see everything will run in a gallop, very fast, once that barrier or blockage to this to the spiritual knowledge is removed from your life. Amit, I've seen your name. But it is very nice that you have asked this personal question. And sometimes, Amit, our spiritual practices get live when we are together with those who are spiritually more alive. And this can be done by, in modern times, also by just listening to an online class that is addressing our concern at the moment, and that is spoken by someone who is on a different level of consciousness, from where he can really uplift you and pull you, so to say, on his level. I have also seen, Amit, in the old times, there was something like pilgrimages. That is, you leave the place in where you are stuck, so to say, and I mean this place now, the place where you reside, not in an abstract place of consciousness, no, I mean a living place. You leave it, you get out of the box, you get out of habitual living, and you move to a pilgrimage. I have, last year, I have been in Rishikesh, and I still remember that moment when I went into the Ganga, which was so cold on one level. I think the only reason why it was not freezing was because it was rushing down. And there I was in the midst of the Himalayas, around me only green forests, and there was one shy yogi who did not interact with us, who was sitting in a cave in that one forest. We could see him in the morning when no one was down at the river, when he took his bath there. And I was there, and I felt so different, and I felt Ganga was taking everything away from me, and I became my natural unobstructed self again. So maybe a pilgrimage is good for you to do as well, amid. So these are some suggestions which are hopefully useful for your life. But thank you for being open and bold enough to present your personal question in this forum. Thank you.
Wonderful. The last question will be from Vipin.
Yes, there you are, Vipin.
Thank you, Sacinandana Swami. My question was, in the first spiritual experience you shared with us 4 weeks ago in our first session, you had shared the experience that you had in the Ganga. And after that experience, you said, after that moment, I had no fear. And that line really struck me, because most of us aren't aware of how much fear we're operating with all of the time. And I wanted to ask you if you could share more with us. What is it like to live with the fearlessness of knowing, of realizing the reality of a divine presence? Can you paint more of a picture for us of what is it like to live with no fear because of that experience?
Yes, this question is a very good question. You can live from a place of no fear any longer when you don't believe but know. As long as you only believe, you have a concept to which you want to hold on somehow or other. But the moment you know, you are resting yourself, you're resting your life on something that is not just a mental concept. It is something that is part of you, that has become part of you. I want to encourage everyone to come from the platform of belief or trying to engage mentally with a teaching, mentally or intellectually, I wanted to say, to the point of knowing. I have a simple practice which I wish to suggest to all of you. And something that can bring you to a level of fearlessness based on an experience, an inner knowing. And that simple practice is to ask yourself from time to time, what do I actually already know? This means that we may sometimes have to deconstruct what we have heard and what makes a lot of sense somehow or other to us, and go to a more essential understanding, that is, we go to that what we have seen to be true. And I would like to give you an example of my own life. I know, Sacinandana Swami, know that when I read the wisdom texts of the Bhagavad Gita, it resets my mind in a different way from the resetting I experience from any other subject I put into the mind. I know that there is a higher power that moves my life. Yes, I have some control over some things. For instance, I can, this is freshly pressed orange juice, I can drink it. There are a few things I had asked for it to be brought to me by Gaur Krishna who went for shopping. So yes, some control is there, but I have not all the control. And I know by the way my life has gone that there is a higher power that moves me. I also know that inside my changing body, I'm becoming old or older, or that is not. I notice there was for a long time a really bad pain in the knee, but now it slowly goes away. The time for the pain is over, and so on. But I know that throughout all the changes which I undergo, I am there as a spirit who witnesses and observes things. I know that it's good to control my mind. When it's impulsively acting, I become more happy. I know that when I meditate on the Maha Mantra, it has a profound effect on my consciousness. Vipin, believers have also doubts. They want to believe it, but they have doubts. And doubters stay paralyzed, for instance, in relationships. Is this a good relation? You are now have a good marriage, I know, but just think of all the people who are doubting, should I be in a relationship or should I not in a relationship? And this doubt paralyzes them. Doubt also paralyzes us in our spiritual life, in the way we engage and so on. And I think believers, as much as they try, are often invaded with doubts. And for the doubting soul, there is neither happiness on this earth, nor in heavens, nor anywhere, because it paralyzes them. So therefore, don't be a believer only. Some things maybe initially we have to somehow, okay, this makes sense, let me go in this direction, and we may not yet have any realization in that direction. But more important is to know by spiritual experiences. And I think what I gave you as an example is a good, can hint you at. And I want to encourage you, Vipin, to answer this question: what do I actually know? And perhaps when we meet, and towards the end of May in London, then we can discuss about this. I would be very happy to find out what Vipin knows already. Good. I think I watch here my clock. Our time has gone. I just want to say thank you very much. We have now stayed together for 5 weeks, so to say, once a week, and it was a wonderful experience for me to be in your good association, and I look forward to seeing all of you, to hear your stories when we meet somewhere on the paths of life, or if we don't meet, then I thank you for spending this time together. It was an honor to serve you, and I will give now the microphone to our gracious host. Please, Hari Prasad, address us. And
thank you so much, Sacinandana Swami. We really don't want to let it go. This is the conclusion of such a beautiful, beautiful series with you, and very enlightening and uplifting. I hope that everyone will carry with them what Sacinandana Swami has offered us. We're grateful for all of your presence, and we look forward to much more to come. Again, Sacinandana Swami, the honor is so profound to have had you for this series, and we will do much more, God willing.
good, then we all have to press the button to exit the Zoom call. Thank you all very much. All the best from my side.